So, I am reintroducing little Storm in with her original group. Reason for this is because, despite me thinking the opposite, Archie isn't fully neutered and he made her pregnant. And I don't want him making her pregnant again, so I have separated her out and with her babies and put her in with this group. And so far it's working great, except for Midas. So Midas isn't with them right now, he's in the old cage. I'm just going to wait until she smells a little bit more like the other mice before I try Midas again, because he was rather aggressive. But the babies are settling in really nicely because Faye just loves babies. She's like the best little babysitter ever. And as soon as she accepted the babies, everybody else accepted the babies, even Midas. But Midas is having a little bit of an issue with the baby's mom. He's being rather mean. So he is off in the regular cage. I'm really surprised how well things are going. They remember each other. They all grew up together. And no problem with Storm. And of course, no problem with babies, because most mice just love babies. This little guy is not being very sociable. So let's see. I'll show you how he is. Maybe he's a reformed character, but I don't think so. I think I'm going to have him separated for about, I don't know, a few hours. By then, Storm will smell like everybody else, and it shouldn't be an issue. I think the problem is she smells like Archie, and Midas does not like other male mice. He's happy to be back. He does love his little girl troop. It's just, is he going to be nice to little Storm? That is the question. Yes, a good boy. Good boy, Midas. No fighting so far. Now he's right with Storm. Oh, that was really good, Midas. Ah, much better. Nothing like being removed for being a bad boy and being put all on his own. Huh. Like this is going to go really fast. The accepting of Storm. Everybody remembers. Good boy, Midas. That's what we want. Storm is going to be really pleased because Archie is not a nice person to share a cage with. He's very moody. One moment he is all sweet and grooming her, next moment he is bullying her. And she was starting to look rather ragged. Plus I don't really want her to get pregnant again, so even though odds are she probably is, but hopefully not. And so I have put her in with this lot. Little Archie. He's in the nest where the babies were. He's probably wondering where his family has got. I feel really bad. I don't really know what I'm going to do about him because he's starting to get a little too old for neutering. Oh, he just bit me. He's very mad. You're angry. Yeah, you want your family back. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the problem is with the pandemic and everything, the next time I can get him neutered will be in November. And by then, he really will be too old for it. And I don't want to risk him. I like him so much. So I'm starting to think that maybe I will keep him just the way he is and keep him in this cage, because this cage I can interact with him really well. And then I just have to give him tons of extra attention. And he's very bonded to me, so I think he may actually be able to be happy that way. He wasn't very nice to his girl, so might not really be a candidate for other mice. Though if he were fully neutered, he'd probably be quite a bit better. His cage needs cleaning too. Yeah. But Archie's a very easy mouse to give tons of attention to because I can let him run free and catching him is super easy. All I have to do is call his name and he comes running. Someday I'll have to film that because it's really awesome. And then he's like a little dog. He'll come and climb on my lap and want petting. And then it's really recently, he's been really cool because when I've been editing video where my voice is on, he will climb up onto my lap, onto the desk, and then he'll put his two little front paws on my arm and watch the screen intently, which is really cool. Like he actually sees what's going on in there. And I hope I can get some film footage of that one of these days because Archie is pretty awesome. Yeah, right now I'm doing cage cleaning. So this little boy will get his cage clean next. Yeah, it's a mess. And I'll have to set it up extra nice because it's going to be a little hard for him to be alone. But he was a moody guy and he didn't treat Storm very nicely. So I think Storm is going to be way happier, but I think Archie isn't. Oh, your family suddenly disappeared. Oh, Archie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, they're fine though, don't worry, they're all doing good. But unfortunately, you can't be with them anymore. So there's Storm. There's Belle. There's Sweet Faye. And somewhere in there is Tabitha. Oh, there's Tabby. Tabby just loves babies. And somewhere in this whole little heap, there's babies. Let's see if we can see them. Move out of the way. Hello. See, I want to see little ones. Okay, it's very difficult. Everybody's in the way. There's little ones in here somewhere. So there's little Heidi, little black and white one. Everybody's starting to groom. Even the youngsters, they've got little instincts to take care of babies too. It'll be good training for them when they become mothers in November. Then they'll know all about baby care. Belle's an experienced mom, so she knows what to do. So I probably only have to have them in here for maybe a day or two. And that'll give me some time to clean up their big cage. And they'll get used to each other again. Everybody seems to remember Storm from before. No issues. And the babies, everybody's thrilled. Oh, I think Midas has a little bite on his nose. When he was fighting with Storm, she actually protected herself. Oh, she's learned how to stand up for herself with nasty males, hasn't she? Yeah. It was a rather trying time with Archie, wasn't it? Yeah. She's very pretty. She's going to look very much like her daddy, except she's got more white on her than he does. Faye is just the best little mum. So good with babies. This is going to be good for Faye because Faye has been losing a little bit of weight, and that's always a bad sign in elderly mice. But having little youngsters to take care of for the next 2 or 3 weeks should rejuvenate her. Give her a purpose. Normally you wouldn't introduce new mice when you've got babies like this, but this is a really maternal group. They know Storm because they've been with Storm before, and I couldn't keep her with Archie any longer. Odds are she's already pregnant again, and Archie's mean, so just rather put her in with them now. And it seems to, my hunch that it would work really well seems to be true. Really seems to be true. They're going to have so many aunties and an uncle. Introducing mice is very complicated. Each little group is different, and you often have to just go by gut feeling and experience. And my gut feeling was that everything would be fine with this little one. I don't think I have to worry about them. I think everything's going to be fine. And in a day or two, everybody can move back to their regular cage. And by then, I will have it nice and clean, all ready for them. And the little one's eyes are going to open soon, so I should have actually separated her as soon as she had babies, but it was already too late because by the time I realized she'd had babies, Archie was already mating with her, so odds are she's pregnant again. But then maybe not. Sometimes maybe Archie really is sterile now. It's just that I put her in with him too soon after the surgery, but my guess is he is still fertile. Okay, I'll leave you guys to it. Check on you once in a while, make sure everything's good and working well. But my guess is things are going to be just fine. Speaking of clean cages, the Percies and Caleb have a clean cage as well. Hi, Caleb. When Storm had her babies, I had to, when she got I could tell she was pregnant, I had to move her to a more visible cage, the one that Archie is in right now. And so during that time I moved Caleb and his little troop down to one of the bottom cages. And I must say I'm really, really happy to have them back, because I miss this little guy. Can't interact with them as much when they're in the downstairs cage. So I'm really happy about this. Little boy is back. And he seems to have a little bite. I think somebody's being a little aggressive. Yeah, he's got a little bite on his nose. So I think he's been fighting with people. It's a dominant mouse. It's to keep all those Percies in line. But they get along really well. There's no problems. They get along really, really well. Percy's actually a really good-natured little bunch, and they know how to socialize, not get into trouble. I think I'm starting to be able to tell them apart better. This one here is Pia because she's just a little darker, and the one that is just has a lighter nose, this little one here, that's Paisley. And then there's one that has a little tear in her ear, and that's Puck. And then the one that's left over is Percival. And if you turn him over, you'll see he's a boy. And you can tell him apart. Percies really like each other. They do a lot of grooming. Thirsty little boy. Fluffy too. Thirsty and fluffy. And I have moved our sweet, sweet little Finnegan into this big cage. He's big enough now, you can have one of the big cages, and I like to keep these ones for the unneutered males because they have more space and it's just a little bit more luxurious for them, and I feel less guilty about them living all alone. He's awesome though. He's a really cool mouse. Little Finnegan, and he is extremely fluffy. Extremely fluffy and extremely friendly. He was shy when he first moved on his own because it's always a scary time for little boys. But now he's become cuddly and sweet. Cuddly and sweet. Loves to be petted. And hopefully he'll be really happy with his new setup. It's really nice and big for a little fella to run off all his steam. We'll see. If he's like his dad and really easy to catch, then I can also let him have free run. Gave Jerry some free run, but Jerry's really hard to catch. So I think Jerry's days of free run are going to be over. It's just too much of a hassle. Nice big cage, eh? Oh, little Finn. I know I smell like girls, don't I? Yeah. I know you want to run free. I'll be able to let you run free. Don't worry. I'll give you a trial and just see if you're as easy to catch. And I guess you will be, because you're a little cuddle bun. You're not as shy as little Jerry. You're a nice big cage. You're going to really enjoy this. I just want to show you something that's really cute. Every morning I share my porridge with them, and they love it, and they're really adorable. So I'll show you what happens. So this lot is still in their introductory cage, and things are going super, super, super. Babies are being well taken care of. There isn't any fighting. Here's Mama. She's probably nursing her little ones. Yep, let's think what is happening. She's got lots of little babysitters. Oh, here are the babies. She has tons of little babysitters for her little ones. Right now, little Glory is taking care of them. The little black and white one is Heidi, and I still have to find a name for the little beige one. So here is the porridge. Anybody want a porridge? No? It's like they right now want out more than porridge. So I think I'll just put it down for them here. It's a place where everybody can get good access to it. Over here. Yeah. Now they're all gonna have some porridge. This isn't baby porridge, this is quick oats, but they love it. Normally I give them baby porridge, but this is what I eat, and sometimes I like to share what I eat with them. Mice can eat almost everything that humans can eat, so. But some things that we eat they really like quick oats porridge. Yeah, you've done really well. You hear that, Storm? Got nice babies, and you're already starting to look a lot healthier. It's tough living with Archie, wasn't it? You were all ruffled when you lived with him because he was kind of a moody boy, and sometimes he'd be nice, and other times he'd beat you up. But you're looking way better already. Way better. Poor little Archie. He's going to have to live alone. If you don't behave, you've got to live alone. Faye is the biggest foodie of all the mice. Just loves her foodies. I think I'll leave him to it, finish my own breakfast, and then I have to start thinking about cleaning cages. So this little lot can go back to their regular haunt. They'll be much happier. Okay, now I've got to close very carefully so I don't accidentally squish some little tiny feet. There we go. Oh, everybody's safe. That's good. I know you guys want to come out real bad. I know. It'll happen sooner than you think. We've got quite the little mass of mice in here now. It's 9, and then plus 3 makes 12. But the big cage will be able to handle this number. And they all get along really, really well, so it shouldn't be an issue. Really bad boy, so he has to live alone. She's much happier without you. Yes, you are a very moody boy. Super friendly one moment, and then not so much. So she is looking a lot less ruffled because she's being beaten. She's not being beaten up anymore. And her babies are being taken really good care of. And you're all alone. Oh no, little fella. I think you're going to have to be alone for the rest of your life, because by the time the vets can neuter you, you will be too old. I don't want to risk you because you're pretty awesome. Yeah. But I'm going to clean your cage, and I think I'm starting to think about that I'm going to make you some new huts. Got to make up for the fact that you're alone. It means I have to give you a ton of attention, which isn't hard to do because you're such an awesome little guy. And I have to make you a really nice cage. And then the little boy can still be happy alone. Yeah. Oh, I know he wants free run. Yeah, I know. We'll see. Maybe a little later. Oh, my little man. Oh, it's my little man. Little man. Archie? You can be a very sweet mouse. You beat your girls up, but you're a really sweet mouse. Oh, just a bit moody. Yeah. You're good to your babies. You didn't try to kill them or anything, but you weren't that super attentive, not like Midas. So now they've got Midas, and they've got Faye, and they've got tons of other mouses, all taking care of them. So they're better off too. Yeah. Archie's cage is right beside my desk, and it's a perfect position so that I can interact with him a lot. And half the time, the little guy is in this corner, either watching me, and then as soon as I make eye contact, this is what he does. He says, "Please let me out, please, please." And I do let him out a lot. And then because he's really easy to catch, you just have to call his name and he comes running, which is awesome, and I have to show you guys someday. And he also likes to crawl onto your lap and participate. And I swear he can see what's happening on a computer screen, because he'll actually watch intently as I edit, especially if he can hear my voice, which is really kind of cool. He's a very intelligent mouse. He's awesome. Just a little bit moody and not so nice to his ladies. But he's a good boy. I really like this mousey. And I don't think I'm going to take the risk of another neuter, especially if it's really difficult. I think we'll just leave him the way he is. In some ways it's nice because he's so awesome. I'd like to use him for breeding again. And I could breed him to Lily, who's my pet store mouse. So he'll get to be with a girl for a little while again. Where's this little man? Where is he? 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 There he is. All right, the babies are just being too adorable. Let's see if we can get them. They were just being so cute just a little while ago. Oh, there she is, little Heidi. Hello. And her little sister who doesn't have a name yet. I'm gonna have to look one up fairly soon so she gets a name too. They're being super spoiled. They have so many aunties. And they also have Midas, who's excellent with babies. And everything's peaceful here. I'll be able to move them back pretty much right now. They're doing so well. But I have to clean their cage. Oh. It's so cute. So glad to have another little black and white one. I was despairing. They were all little gingers. Now I have another little black and white. Oh, this little one's so cute. Sleepy. Looks very much like her dad, Archie, except that she has a little more white on her than he does. Tabby being the best little auntie. Got to give everybody a really, really good wash. Let me put this out of the way so you can see things really nicely. Oh, a little stretch. Starting to popcorn. Starting very early with Heidi. Auntie Faye has arrived. She feels babies need to be covered. So I don't think we're going to see the babies much after she's done her job of making a nice nest, covering them up, making sure that everybody's warm and safe. Okay, I think I'll leave you guys to it. Gotta get on with my day. Oh, this little one is my favorite, but she's starting to get a little thin again. That's always a bad sign for elderly mice. When they're chubby, you don't worry too much, but when they get really skinny, that's when you start to become a bit more concerned. But she seems happy, she's active, she's eating, no other signs, just getting a little slimmer. You know, in the mouse world, it's usually better to be too chubby than too thin. But we'll see what happens. I think she's okay. She's acting fine. She's happy and active, and she looks good, just a little slimmer than I would like. Oh, she wants more porridge. Oh, sorry, Faye. She's hopeful. Sorry, Faye. You guys think that you should have a treat or something? Anybody want treats? Treats? Yes? Treats? Okay, so we had a lot of little faces begging, so we will give them a little bit of treats. Just a few little baby cheezies. I'll make sure I crunch them up. I don't want people fighting over them. There. Faye is usually the one who loves her cheezies. You usually hear that other people are munching and word spreads, and here comes Faye. Because Faye loves her cheezies. Comes Tabitha. I have a feeling the babies are going to be abandoned for a little bit. People do love their cheezies. Do you want to try cheezie? What do you say? You're going to love this when you grow up. Yes, you are. Cheezies are going to become your favorite food. Everybody loves cheezies. But right now you prefer milk. Not quite ready to eat adult foods yet. You know, Just want to snooze. Oh, do you want to eat it? Yeah. Okay, I think we kind of undid all of Faye's work, so we're just going to cover them up. There we go. And I think we're going to leave everybody to it. Yeah. I've got to get to the rest of my day and get your cage cleaned. We have to be very careful about closing these because little tiny feet can get in the way very, very easily. There we go. There. Okay. Gotta get on with my day. Why is it that I always see this when I look over at your cage? Always. Yeah. You want to come out, don't you? Yeah, I know. You've already had your free run and I've got to get going with my day. I know. Sorry, Archie. Well, Archie, since everyone else got a treat, do you want one? Yes. Okay, off you go. So, this little lot are getting along absolutely superbly. She's not supposed to be up here. So, I'm going to be moving them into one of the larger cages now. I don't think I'm going to put them back into the very large one, this cage cleaning, because they have babies. It'll be easier to keep tabs on everybody if they're in the slightly smaller. So everybody is nice and clean. The cage is a little more complicated this time, but it's still in a different place. So I'm not expecting there to be any fights, but just in case, I put them in a cage that isn't the home of any of them and is a bit smaller, so it'll be easier to keep tabs on the babies. Oh, they're so happy to be out of that small cage. It was no fun at all. No fun. Well, eyes have opened. Finally can see the whole world. And Mum's already waiting in there for everybody. Storm. Yeah, Storm's an excellent mum. Now she knows where her babies are. So somewhere in here there'll be little ones. And I have a feeling they're going to be exploring within the next few days. And this is a pretty safe area for them. They do have a water trough up here. Once they get more mobile, I'll have to make it smaller because baby mice can drown. But I think right now they won't be able to really get up there. They're safe enough. And just when they get a little bit older, then I'll have to be a bit more careful. And otherwise, I'm not worrying about them jumping out of the open concept mousery anymore. It seems like my line are born knowing that they must stay and they don't jump. The old days I had to always separate out once they got to like 3 weeks old. They had to be in a cage with a door. But I find with my latest batch, they don't even show any interest. They're just fine, which makes things much easier for me, which is great. So, and I'll leave them. Next thing I'm going to have to do is clean this cage. And Asriel's group is going to be so happy to have this large cage all to themselves for a week or so before they have to give it up for this lot again. Next cage cleaning, I'll move all this lot back into the big cage. And then the little ones should be running around, eyes wide open, with everybody else, and should be easier. But I'll say this little, I think I'd rather have them in a smaller cage. They do love their babies. Becoming very good at grooming themselves.